I'm looking at both sides of the line of scrimmage to start my rebuilding.
And, Keith, you'll get no disagreement from me. I mean, you've sort of in a different way said exactly what I said. I think we started off with the question, what would you do initially? And initially I would go to fix that defense because that was sort of the glaring problem that they had. But I agree with you. They need to do something with the interior. And in fact, on the fantasygreek.com, we've got our AFC and NFC free agents. Under NFC free agents, I've got the Falcons' top needs as defensive end, cornerback, guard, linebacker, and then sort of at the end, if they could do something about it, running back, tight end, and they need a kicker if they're not going to re-sign Matt Bryant. So offensive guard, to me, I agree with you. I just don't know that they're going to fix that through free agency. That might be something that they may focus on doing in the draft.
Right. I would agree with you there. So the cap number I see on overthecap.com for the Falcons is $120 million. And I believe I saw, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe I saw that the estimated cap for 2015 is going to be upwards of 140. Did I see that right?
It should be roughly somewhere around 140 to 145 million. I've been using 142, 143 when I've been doing estimation.
So about 20 million in cap space. I mean, that's not nothing.
What was that?
That 20 million in cap space. That's not nothing.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, no, I'm saying. I mean, you can make a splash and pick up some pieces if you believe they're there. They just got to be the right fit, obviously.
Yeah, and they haven't cut any players yet. I mean, Steven Jackson, he goes and they're saving almost $3.75 million in cap space. So if they have players that they want to go get, there should be some money here.
Right. And it doesn't matter when they cut them. Apparently, that figure doesn't change. I love this site. I could play you on the site all day long. Just so you know. I know you're worried.
So you're doing the rest of your vacation, isn't it?
Pretty much. Playing with
the
salary
staycation.
cap. Playing with salary cap numbers. So, Matt Ryan, top 10 fantasy quarterback?
Yes.
Julio Jones, top 5 wide receiver?
Yes.
Roddy White, still top 10?
No. I wouldn't even say he was necessarily top 10 last year. He's definitely a wide receiver too.
Okay, and we just don't know who the Atlanta running back is. If you had to take a flyer today, who would you draft out of that backfield?
Between Antone Smith and a Devonta Freeman?
Yeah.
I would probably take Devonta Freeman. He's slightly the bigger back. I mean, they could easily run with those two next season. But I think, but I'm a believer in having that premier workhorse running back, having a guy that will touch the football 20 to 25 times per game. I don't like these two, sort of switching up your running backs in a game. In fact, most teams are not succeeding with that new approach. So I'm not into that. I think it's true that a true runner just gets warmed up as the game goes.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I would agree with you there. So the Atlanta defense, crazy off the hip prediction with nothing to go on. Do you think that they are fantasy relevant next year, just because of who they got coming in as a head coach?
I would definitely draft him as a second defense at this point.
Okay.
For that very reason, because you know what, they've got no place to go but up.
Right. So it can't get any worse. You heard that here, Falcons fans. It can't get any worse. Sounds like Bears fans too.
It could still get worse.
It could always get so much worse. All right, well, there you go. You have it, for kids. The Atlanta Falcons offseason colonoscopy. We're going to take another quick break, and we're going to finish on some random headlines and scores thoughts. It should be entertaining. You're listening to 87 Sports Fans live on Late Night Sports Radio.
Come out of the house. I need love. Oh, I need love right now. Lay your body down. You're so fine, baby, you're too fine. After he goes to bed, remember what we said. We gonna do this right, right. This is how it's always supposed to be. I need you endlessly. We gonna go all night.
Who the hell can wait till morning? Talk now at latenightsportsradio.com.
LateNightSportsRadio.com. You're listening to 87 Sports Fans live. Closing moments. We're going to end this show. We got about 6 minutes left to go. I read it upside down. Jim Saranteas from thefantasygeek.com joining Keith Grieve and Steve Taylor from 87sportsfans.com. We are here every Monday night, 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern Time. Wednesday night is the Fantasy Greeks NFL Power Hour. Jim, what do you got on tap for the kids Wednesday night?
This Wednesday on tap, the first half hour, we've got George Bremer. He's a Colts reporter from the Daily Herald Bulletin out of Indiana. So we're going to have him on the show talking some Colts football for the first half hour. And then the second half hour, we're going to talk a little bit of Buccaneers with Patrick Beaulieu, who's a huge Buccaneers fan, I might add. And Patrick is he's a podcaster like you guys. Runs off the show The Big Ticket. And curious to see what Patrick thinks that what the Buccaneers are going to do this offseason, as well as what they're going to do for that number one draft pick. So don't you miss this Wednesday.
All right. There you have it, kids. Okay, so I'm just going to read through some headlines here and just get some quick one-hit reactions to them going on, okay? Chris Johnson's released by the Jets. Is he done in the NFL?
I've said he's been done for a couple of years now, so he might find a place on a team, but he's never going to be even close to the level he was when he had the 2,000-yard season.
Yeah, I think he's done.
Yeah, it's a shame. He has as much talent as anybody. Back in the day.
Keith, by the way, Steve was right. Okay, I'm just
wrong.
Oh, I was so right about him.
Injuries.
Oh, yeah, injuries.
Interestingly, he's 29, so he should really have another year in the tank, maybe two.
Yeah.
So he could find a home somewhere.
According to him, apparently he came out and said Idzik limited his role, not Rex Ryan. I don't see Rex Ryan surrendering control like that over game day situations.
You know, I don't think the Jets ever really had a chance, or they never really put their arms around the Marty Mornwig offense.
Right.
I mean, it never happened, which explains a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Not that Michael Vick stepped in and did much better, but.
All right. Developers, LA Stadium builder gave campaigns $118,000. I don't care about that headline. What I care about, do you think within the next 3 to 5 years we will see football return to LA?
Yes. Too big a market to not have a team.
Mm-hmm.
I think it depends. And it really just depends if the NFL is getting what they want in the cities that they're asking something from.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, if they get new stadiums, they're not going to go anywhere.
But did the Rams haven't built a new stadium, have they? Did they? I know when they moved to St. Louis, they got a new one.
No, I don't think so. I mean, the Edward Jones Dome is right downtown. It's pretty amazing. Or it's right on the outskirts of downtown, but it's right there. I mean, it's like you've got the dome and then hotels and stuff all right there, blocks leading. It's sort of like seeing a Cardinals game. Everything just flows right to it.
It's got one of the all-time worst names for an arena, though. It's right up there with Oracle Arena for the Warriors.
The Edward Jones Dome?
Edward Jones Dome.
I think that's cool.
No.
Maybe if it's the James Earl Jones Dome, that would be good.
What about the sportsradio.com dome?
There you go. LateNightSportsRadio.com arena at Keith Grieve's Dome. There you go.
There you go.
Perfect.
There you go.
It's got a nice ring to it.
Yeah.
Ray Rice pens an apology to Ravens fans. Do we care?
I don't. Once again, you got to wonder how legitimate his apology is. He might just be doing it to save face. You can never really tell exactly how sincere he is with this.
I don't think we'll ever really know.
Yeah, I think he's just out there to try to save his millions. But
hey. Can't blame him.
No, you gotta do what you gotta do. If you're a woman beater, you still gotta make money. Jason Giambi announces his retirement from baseball. What is Jason Giambi's legacy in Major League Baseball?
I think he just is going to vanish from any memory. You know, he was a very good player. I want to say a great player for a few years, and then the whole steroid thing, and then he kind of went into obscurity. And honestly, you ask most newer baseball fans what they think about Jason Giambi, and they're going to be like, who? So I think he's just going to kind of slowly fade away.
His legacy,
is
the question.
Yeah.
I mean, he
was a writer,
and his legacy will be involved exactly with that, and that's if it even comes up. I mean, I don't think anybody sits there and talks about the guys that fixed the White Sox World Series.
Yeah.
I mean, it may come up, but what you really remember is the White Sox World Series. That it was the White Sox.
Right.
He's the only one that had the balls to speak up and say he did it, though. I give him credit for that.
I think he's just part of that juiced era.
So does that mean, Steve, that there's 2 asterisks by his name?
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, that's it. We're out of time. For Jim Saranteas from thefantasygreek.com. Follow him on Twitter at thefantasygreek. We are Steve Taylor and Keith Grieve from 87sportsfans.com. We'll see you next Monday, kids. Have a great week.
Post-game show is brought to you by Christ, I can't.